Yes, Stewie. Oh dear. Hope you're well, my brother. Oh dear. Yeah, really good shirt, man. Yourself? Morning, Dean. How's everything over there in Slough? Has anything started opening up yet in Slough? Anyone started going back to work yet properly? Opening up now. So bad. Hope you're well, my brother. Hope this lockdown ain't troubling you too, affecting you too negatively, I should say. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one we're going through now, mate. It was start of a new beginning, and yeah, crazy times. So we're up to 2013 in a minute. Yes, Colin, I hope you're well, mate. And we're talking about the mindset, you know, the drives that keep us motivated in the mornings, to keep us motivated every week, the things that keep us do and want better for our lives, you know, and principally wants the same things out of life. It's the journeys we choose. Good, you know, Manny, really good, really good. I'm just sort of still finding myself, but enjoying the journey. As I said to a few people yesterday, I'm not embarrassed about the man I was. I'm not embarrassed about the things I've done. I've sort of gone through life making choices and mistakes that have ultimately led me to be the man I am today. I resent some of the things that I've done on my journey to get me to where I am today as unnecessary acts of nonsense, but nonetheless it was the life we chose. It was the rules we played by, and the consequences and the benefits and profits was all conducive to that lifestyle. So although I apologise for all the badness I've done to most people, you know, it was a life we chose, it was a road we lived, it was I believed in it, to be honest. Yeah, so how could you put it? His brother, 50-year-old message. Yeah. the craziness, the lunacy, the fucking regress every time I come on now, because it's hard for me to actually what I should say is I don't want to glorify anything that I've done, so I've got to find how I discuss things so it's discussed correctly. Morning Danny, Terry, how we doing Dan? Hope all the family's well. Andrew, hope you're well brother. Are you still training Dan? Yeah. So I'm trying to get back to the mindset I used to have to make it a little bit more excitable. Yeah. Right, so we're 2:15. Right, what's led me up to 2:15, 2:13, 2013. I'm in strange ways. I'm nicked for conspiracy to murder, David and Mark Short, and assisting an offender on the murders of the 2 police officers. Their names really, because that's rude. I know PC Hughes, I can't remember the other one. It's really disrespectful. I'll find that out for the next broadcast. And yeah, it's what led me up to that. A whirlwind of chaotic madness, you know, like I've said, and I'll continue to say, that I just wanted to be like the hardest, the fastest, the richest, the gamest, the most connected. I just wanted to be that guy. So growing up, I just done all that I felt was necessary for everybody to know that I was that guy, for everybody to believe I was that guy, and everybody to see I was that guy. Embarrassed about the man I was, because I was just there doing what I was supposed to do through learned behaviour, grooming and sort of environment, you know. So although I can't glorify what I've done it in such a fashion that was accepted in such a small demographic environment. It made me feel good, you know. Stabbing, shooting, beating, cutting, robbing, stealing, all them sort of things just made people like myself feel good, you know. So anything that engaged in any sort of activities of the like mind was everything I've done. And my convictions reflect that, you know. My nickings definitely reflect that. My investigations knock it out the ballpark. So there isn't anything that I've been nicked for, under suspicion for, or convicted for that isn't or wasn't acceptable within a criminal fraternity. You know, everything I've been nicked for was everything to do with violence and crime. I became the epitome of my own self-belief, with becoming someone. How mad is that? I just wanted to be somebody, you know, and the levels that I was prepared to go to meant I would spend the rest of my life in prison, which meant I'd get stabbed 23 times, which meant I'd get cut 5, 6 times, which meant I'd get hit with hammers, I'd get chopped with axes, you know, and beaten firm-handedly, tear-ups, bottles. I've been stabbed with bottles, bottled fucking glass, you know. I've had my teeth kicked out. I've been stabbed, I think 3 times, 20 times, 20 odd times. I've been cut a few times, do you know what I mean? I've been shot 5 times and once. So I've been shot 6 times, 1 in one occasion, 5 shots in one and 1 shot in another. I've done bird, I've shoved ounces and ounces of gear up my arse, like phones, money, like in prison for years. Like, I've done the circuit, I've done what's expected to be done in that world. I've played my part. Was I happy playing my part? I was happy playing my part, because in my head I never had anything else to compare to. I never had anything else to weigh up or sort of reflect on. So all I had was, who was the biggest villain? Him. Who was the biggest robber? Him. Who was the biggest drug dealer? Him. Who was the hardest man around? Him. So where do I want to be? There, and there. So how do I get there? By going there. And that's all I've done growing up. I've made myself and lunacy. Unchallenged, with parental support and guidance, went through the care system, fell into crime like everybody else. Well, I never even fell into crime. Crime was just instilled into me. I was shoplifting with my mum early doors. You know, shoplifting, thieving, nicking was just a way of life in the house. Drug taking was just snorting, dropping. There weren't nothing that ever got done in my house. I think the only thing that never got done in my house was injections. I don't think anybody intravenously injected a drug. But anything you could sniff, drink, snort, dab, drop, swallow, gargle, it was taken, you know, as a way of normality. Come Friday night, it's okay, it's acceptable. Get the gear out, have a sniff, have a puff, have a line, have a fucking pill, have another pill that could bring you up, another pill to bring you down, another pill to go to sleep, wake up in the morning, have a drink, start the whole process again. And in between that, work out ways to make money. Like, when I think about it now, I just think it's fucking madness that all that drug-fueled, alcohol-fueled, like, insane mindset-fueled concept, and believe you're going to be or even successful. That's it. It's crazy. So going through the criminal fraternity like a hot butter, like a hot knife through butter. I was on my journey, I was doing my bits, I was robbing, stealing, stabbing, shooting. Yes, Andy. Moving, shaking, dancing, grooving. You know, there weren't nothing we never done. Singing bells and whistles, driving, living, doing. You know, everything sporadic though, nothing consistent. And that's the one thing. You're always going from one place to another, replicating the same acts over and over again, expecting different results and not getting many. So that's the insanity part of the life, leading me up to committing all the crimes, getting the nick for so many shootings, you know, so many attempted murders, facing the reality of sitting in prison for 36 years. I'm on the unit, expecting to get a lump of bird for a load of people I felt loved me, looked after me, wanted to be my friends. Morning, Andy. Soon came to realise that none of the above was true. I was just getting used as one of the black cunts, or get one of your darky mates to sort it. Ain't that black fella got something to do with him? Can't he sort something out? That was the way I was referred to behind my back. So when I was sitting in prison thinking I'm going to get 36 years for these people, like I said, I made that promise to the universe that I won't do nothing for these people again. Like, do something for me. I promise I'll leave the country. And then bam, the firearm got fucked up. Everything got fucked up in the case. We got the not guilties. Got found guilty because my co-defendant took a plea bargain, so we got found guilty by association. And then done a bit of bird, come out and went to Spain. Going to Spain, I thought my world Well, do you know what? I never thought anything initially. I just thought, let me get over it, because if X, Y, Z can do it, then I can do it. Because I know X, Y, Z. And then if I'm being honest, I've always done all right on my own. X, Y, Z have got X, Y, Z around them, X, Y, Z around them, X, Y, Z around them. I know I can get what I've done on my own. Get done what I need to do on my own. So off I went. Spain band it was. Marbella. Boom. So he hits Marbella with a splash. Linked in with all the people I need to link in with. Over a space of time, through my own sanity, just my own nutty mindset, confronting everybody, challenging everybody, you know, working with everybody with that strict code of practice, like, and that's what sort of got me where I got to, because I went over there with a work ethic. If you're right, you're right. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. If it ain't done, then you pay a bill. So what I've done, I expected in return, and I sort of enforced certain things, confronted a few people, and just sort of carved my way through the rest of Europe. So I've made links and friends with many people throughout the community, and some real deep rooted friendships as well, not based on what they can do for me or what I can do for them. It's just based on, I love him for what he does and how he does it, and how he looks after his people, and how he treats his friends, and he loves me the same, and we have an amazing relationship. They say, true friends, you don't need to speak to every day, you don't need to see every year, you just know your friends, do you know what I mean? You know your friends, and that's it, it's deep. And that's the thing I learned going to Europe. Although money is important, what's more important than money is stability and safety, security. Got them three in place, you got a turbulent mind. Got a turbulent mind. So we're in Spain, crashing, banging, and doing all the madness. Done a bit of puff, done a bit of top shelf, just done a bit of everything, just to get by, just get my foot in the door, you know. Fell into the debt protection, the debt recoveries and all that sort of stuff. And I just sort of loved all that. It was sick, just going to take money. It was like taking sweets off naughty kids, if that makes sense. Because 98% of the people in that game are not prepared to go to the highest levels. They're just prepared to go to their comfort zone. So when you take people outside their comfort zone, they usually fold. And because I was always going to the limits, it was to the death, mate. And that was my principle in life. It was everything to the death, never give up. So that's what people were faced with, and rather than go to the death, they were prepared to pay. So I got paid, everything went smooth, made a right name for myself, made some fantastic relationships with people from all around the world. That there ain't, that they may not know me. That's crazy. Africa, Asia, China, Japan, Europe all day long, England. Like there ain't anywhere that I haven't made relationships with people, all for the right reasons as well. So now I'm flying. I've reached the pinnacle of my aims. I'm getting where I believe I'm getting to. I'm living how I believe I'm supposed to be living. Everything's lovely. So I believed, you know, grafting, making money, partying, spending money, travelling, living that life, was always in the back of my mind. That's always ever been there. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can go to prison. people might have to get ironed out, people have to get hurt. Like, the mindset never changes, the principle never changes, the product never changes. So nothing can ever change. Everything can only get bigger or smaller. And because of the levels I was at, it can only get bigger. And obviously, because I pay attention to the things that go on around me, the youngsters fell behind with some money. He needed to get I found out it was my son's, one of my son's best mates. And then just realised from that point on that I can't do this no more. It's the younger generation that I'm affecting. If I want to make change, I've got to make change. And I can't make change by making the kids do the same things that we've all been doing. So, penultimate part or change in my direction, you know, because it's just nuts. Forced everything as well. When you're walking around them landings, you know, and everybody's pretending to be happy, right? But when they bang up behind the door, they're thinking, that one's a cunt, that one's a cunt, that one's a cunt. What the fuck, I've got to talk to that cunt. If I don't talk to that cunt, I can't do this, that and this. This place, I can't wait to get out. Can't wait to get out. Can't wait to get out. And that's what you think about every fucking day. And then come on the landing, pretend like nothing's a problem and you're a bad man. So, that life ain't a life for me no more. And I'll take me out to the people that continue doing it. Because it's just, I can't do it. And if that makes me a pussy, like, tired of pressing the button. I'm just tired of being in the motors. I'm just tired of sitting in the shovel. I'm just tired of being out of my nut. I'm just tired of being in hospital. Do you know what I mean? Like, there comes a point that you're just tired of it. It doesn't mean anything, it just means you're tired. And when you're tired, you go to sleep. Fortunately enough for me, my sleep brings on a whole new dimension of life. So, morning Andy. And I like to believe so, you know. And it's nuts because when people used to say it takes more of a man to walk away from a fight, I actually understand what they mean by that now, you know. So, walk away from a fight, not because you're a mug or a wanker, it's just because it don't make sense. It just don't make sense. What's the point in getting hurt or hurting someone? Like, when someone can just say, all right, mate, you're wrong. All right, do you know what, mate? I'm wrong. Do you know what? Couldn't have put it better myself. Like, that's all it takes. Just takes someone to admit that they're wrong, or someone to admit that they haven't done something. That's it. Like, oh mate, I'm really sorry, I've never done that. What can I do to make it any better? You don't turn around and say, well, I'm going to bill you 10 grand. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just nuts. Everything's just got to be done correctly, and everybody can work correctly, and everybody can be correctly. And if you're working with a product that's illegal, then you're not working correctly. So if you're not working correctly, how can you believe that your world is going to end correctly? Do you understand? So the logic, principle behind any sort of strategy, pattern or game plan is pretty self-explanatory. Because logic is logic. 2 comes after 1, 3 comes after 2, 4 comes after 3. So I mean, if you don't turn left, you turn right. If you don't turn left or turn right, you go straight. If you don't turn left, right or go straight, then you move backwards. If you don't turn left, right, straight or backwards, then you turn around in a circle. And then you go out in a star. So when you think of the logic, it's just was like, I'm going to go and do this. And that little voice says, yeah, but it doesn't make sense. You might get 20 years. We say, fuck it. When you should listen to that little voice that says it ain't worth 20 years. Because when you're sitting there doing the lumberbird, you're telling yourself, it ain't worth it. I wish I'd have listened. You know? And that's the thing that really gets me at it. If I'd have just listened growing up, I would have saved myself a whole lot of problems, a whole lot of headache. Because to be the guy I became, I wouldn't wish the journey on anyone, even my worst enemy. That's just mental, physical torture for 40 years. Why would you do that to yourself? When you think about it, I risked my liberty every single day of my life for a price I couldn't put my finger on. I was prepared to stab, shoot and kill and go to prison forever. I call myself sensible. Like, you just can't get away from it. It just... all because every one of my pals thought I was sensible. It's fucking madness. So, going through life now, I sort of look at it from a different perspective. Because it keeping everyone happy. Ain't about fitting in. Ain't about wearing the best watch. Ain't about driving the best car. It's about consistent sustainability, mate. So, it's getting a bit hot now because I had a t-shirt. Look, t-shirt underneath my t-shirt, so I was going training after this broadcast. Living that life of lunacy, living that life of a mobster, you know, like, and like I say to the youngsters, if you're not prepared to shove shit up your ass every day, you go to prison, right? You go to prison, you got to shove phones, gear, puff, money, everything up your ass, in and out your ass all day, just so you can be part of a sensible firm. Crazy. And to be part of a sensible firm, you've got to be at least a cat A. Otherwise, you ain't sensible. You're one of them lot. Yeah. They're actually brainwashed and programmed to believe that the bigger crime you do, the more sensible you are. So the more you risk, the more sensible you are in the world I come from. The more you do makes you more sensible. So if you're not prepared to shoot someone, you're not that sensible. You're sensible. If you stab someone up, you're sensible. If you can punch someone, if you can fight like an animal, you're sensible. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can't fight, you're a mug. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you think about the attributes that make you sensible in the environment that we come from, or I come from, it's fucking madness. It's absolute madness. And that's why we have to change the narrative for the next generation coming through, because pretty fortunate, because this is how I look at it, right? Oh, this is how I look at it, and it's, I was born in Liverpool. We brought up with nothing. Well, we had some bits growing up as a kid. Then when my mum and dad split up, my mum hit rock bottom, turned to the pipe, grafting, all the bollocks. We was all junkies by the age of 14, all the kids. In and out of all foster homes. I was in and out of care. prison, you know. So we come from nothing, try to make something out of nothing, tried with the best intentions, wrong strategies, and just wrong relationships. Now, what I can say is, my journey from start to finish is big, full, so I can do what I do now. So, if got any purpose, or you feel you haven't achieved anything, maybe it's because you're not giving enough. You know, so now my new philosophy on life is give back what I took out. You know, so I took riches, I took materialism, I took finances, I took spirit, souls, and physical attributes. So I could just give that back. How do I give that back? By changing the narrative, by changing the mindset, not allowing these youngsters to believe that they're sensible, doing what they're doing. Actually encourage them to accept that I was a groomer growing up, I was a mug growing up, I was not sensible growing up. And that's just Marvin Herbert. I'm not saying anybody else, I'm just saying Marvin. I don't believe that I was the most sensible person I could have been for myself growing up, considering I risked my liberty every single day of my life for a price I couldn't put my finger on. I was prepared to stab, shoot and kill and go to prison forever, but yet call myself sensible. Like, come on, man. Like, when I think of that, it's pathetic for me. So if you're accountable and you can look at yourself, then you're going to say the same things that I'm saying if you're anything like me. Or you're going to say, no, you're not. And then what you're going to go and do is risk your liberty every single day again. Put your finger on, because no one can tell me how much they earn every year. You know what I mean? You can sort of what you might earn, speculate. No one knows who's going to get paid. No one knows who's going to run off. No one knows who's going to get nicked. No one knows nothing. So they're the variables you've got to fight against and fight with, live with, accept, support, and harmonise with. And it's just rigged. So I owe it not only to myself and my kids, but to society, you know. And if I can't do it, then what chance have they got? You know. Now, and I've come across a myriad, which means a lot of different characters. We're on this journey, you know. And I've met the best and the worst of them. Quirkiest of them, and definitely the queerest of them. It's weird. One of us have had psychological issues of abandonment, rejection, abandonment and rejection, and then physical abuse. Them three things that have bonded thousands of people together on a journey of mythological belief, expectation and benefit. And we've done it for generations. Because there's always been a different way. We've always thought we're going to take the easiest option, when it never really is the easiest option. Incarceration into account. People are sitting in prison now on the street because they haven't got the freedom they used to have, and they feel it's hard and stressful. When if you go into prison, that's all it is every single day. Because that's just the way of life. So like that, society on a whole is going to learn to live with this current situation we're living with now, and it'll just be the way of life, son. Walking about masked up, gloved up, protected up. A lot of stuff up, knocks a lot of people out of coordination, you know. Used. What you can bet your bottom dollar on is if you're eating pretty healthy and you're training, then you're going to come out of this the other side. Once you come out of this the other side, to broaden your networks, because that's all I'm doing. I'm broadening my networks, venturing into unknown territories, listening to other people, not expecting to make any money, you know, and just sort of seeing where the wind takes me. And at present, it's not taking me anywhere too distasteful, you know. So I'm pretty happy at the moment. I'm just looking forward to the next leg of the journey. To help anybody out, to let me know. Anybody got any good business ideas, definitely let me know, you know. And I think, yeah, I want to continue with this story on Monday. So I've got to go and get me agreed facts. I keep talking about them, but they're up in Milton Keynes and I'm in London. And I've got to be in London for another couple of days before I can go back to Milton Keynes, because we're on a sort of isolation period. But once this finishes, then I can travel to the one isolated building and come back. So it's good. Taking this stuff seriously and paying attention to the guidelines, because if you don't know, you don't know. And if you need to learn, you need to listen. So what we need to do is focus on being safe, being healthy, looking after each other and communicating on another frequency, you know. Try to become harmonious with everyone. You know, life ain't that bad. And everything I've been through in life has helped me deal with what I'm going through now. There's no rat race. You know, so it's all back to basics. Everyone's back at the drawing board. So let's just put our heads together, get some fantastic ideas, and let's start growing, you know. Once we grow, we hit success. The byproduct of success is consistent, sustainable wealth. Consistent wealth of our success. So let me hear some ideas. Let me see where you're thinking. Let me see what you're doing. And we're ready to plug in. So commerce on this planet, let me know. Anything to do with building, anything to do with intervention, you know, anything to strategic aligned organisations that can help grow. I'm up for everything. I'm up for everything, right? So we're going to have another couple of little reflecting moments in the next couple of days. Let me see. Is this Facebook thing been going off? Let me see if I can add anyone. Morning, Jojo. Cheers, pal. I'm an inspiration. Wicked, buddy. fucking well, bro. I'm not training my life. Yeah, we got to get back in the training, damn man. It's sick. Got to get back in the training. Got to keep it up. Ain't getting any younger, none of us. Do you know what I mean? Ain't getting any younger at all, mate. Oh. So anyone got anything going on this week? What's going on with anyone? Anything interesting happening? Because convenience, please. Mod day technology cracks me up. Alright, so do apologise for that. Yeah, so I like to reflect that once ruled my normality, you know what I mean? Fucking nuts. Me that feels this way. So I mean, like, it can't be just me that feels this way, so I'll know I'm right, you know what I mean? Like, guys is key in a time like this though, you know that, don't you? Even walking, going for long walks helps. Anything you can do to take your mind off looking at four walls really helps, you know? Some people not liking what they're looking at, some people are confused with what they're looking at, and some people hate what they're looking at. Looking at, it can change. And the even more amazing contributing factor is that you can change it all. So it's up to you. And you can make everything happen the way you want it to be. You can make it work, you can make it. consistent, you can make it sustainable. And all you've got to do is change a couple of things about you. You know, and it's not that hard. Like, I thought it'd be difficult being straight, but I've got a peace of mind. Like, don't get me wrong, you get skin, but you get skin where you don't have to worry about feeding yourself. You don't have to worry about driving your car. You don't have to worry about your bills. You don't have to worry about your house, because you got credit cards, you got loans, you got things like, for argument's sake, you borrow money off the road, right? You borrow 10 grand, you got to pay 10% a month until you can pay the money back, right? Now, it's all rigged, because you can never pay the 10 grand back, otherwise you would borrow the 10 grand in the first place. And if you borrow 10 grand, you're not going to spin that into more than 3 grand a month to pay back the grand a month and have 2 grand a month to live on. So you're always playing catch up. You think you're going to make it, but you never do. So you're always in that debt, you're always chasing. Whereas now, I'll borrow 10 grand off the bank. I've only got to give them something like 12 grand or 11 grand back. Like, it's not even that much. I think 13 grand top whack. So you got to pay 3 grand on top of your 10 grand. Like how bad is that? Your credit cards, like nothing. Like, come on, man. It's like you don't have to pay rent every month on point. All right, you get penalised for it, but there's no pressure to go to prison. There's no pressure of people wanting to kick my door down. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's madness. Like, I'm 3 months behind on my rent and my car because I can't make any money. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't make any money working, and it's not just me. There's millions of us like that. Now, in the landscape of numbers, right? There's maybe 600,000 or 800,000 villains. So when you're skint, you only skint for 800,000 people to look at and worry about. But imagine 30 million people being skint. Like, that's what's really happening. Like, half the population right now is basically struggling, if not more. And all the people with money are finding it harder to maintain their money than ever. All the restaurateurs, all the people that own the big chains of shops, all the people that are renting all their buildings, like, they've got to pay their rent. Like, some people, the government are telling you that they're giving all this money out, but no one's getting it. Do you know what I mean? No banks are telling you, oh, you don't have to pay your mortgage. Do you know what I mean? No banks are saying you don't have to pay your credit card. I'm still getting all the notifications through my credit card. So the pressure doesn't stop, but there's nothing that anybody can do. So the situation we're in, if you're legit, is good, because people are on furlough, or you've got universal credit, and if you're wealthy enough, you can get a loan. I couldn't get a loan because last year my tax return was negative, so I'm not eligible for sort of loans, but I get a bit of money every month off the universal credit to live on and pay towards the rent. So there is avenues out there that you can live on, like, and if you think about it, if I get £1,000 a month off the government, right, that's good money to some people, like, and you can get it, like, it's not complicated, and I'm legit, I'm straight, and the government are giving me money to live on. It's not an extravagant amount of money where I can go out partying or go on holiday, but I can feed myself, I can clothe myself, and I can travel. So that's all that's important right now. So as long as you can feed yourself, clothe yourself, and travel, you're winning. You're winning. You really are winning. You really are winning. You know? So on that note, I'll leave it for today. I will be back on tomorrow with some more reflective stuff. You know? If there's anything specific that anybody would like me to revisit or talk about, let me know. I'll speak to you all tomorrow. I hope you all have a fantastic day. God bless, take care. Speak soon. Lots of love.